Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. Apologies for not uploading last week. Time got away from me, I was not able to do so. But I do want to say thank you to everyone who watched the previous video. I'm definitely excited for No Rest for the Wicked. But today, I mentioned in a previous video that I've been playing a game, WitchFire. And I thought now would be the perfect time. Just try to sneak a video in about it just to show you guys what it's about before V-Rising and No Rest for the Wicked. So here we are, this is WitchFire. First person shooter, extraction shooter, PvE. Early access game, so there's some rough edges to it, for sure. That's sort of expected. But overall, very enjoyable. Engaging game, for sure. I thought it was maybe going to be a little bit slow, or maybe a little bit slow paced, or just really janky. But no, it's really fast. It can be really fast paced for sure. You can kind of just run around and go a little crazy in it, which is fun. I've seen some crazy clips of people online jumping around, slide cancelling, just using a shotgun. Definitely not the way I've been playing it so far. I've just been using the bolt action rifles, some of the handgun stuff, this SMG rifle, and some of the other demonic weapons that you can get. So basically, I'll give you a rundown. So you have your classes that you can pick from. Nothing really too set in stone. It's just like, think of a Souls-like game, predetermined set of stats basically is the difference between each of them, but you could totally just change up as you play the game. You go into each expedition and it's just the same map, so there's set different maps. Within these maps there are set locations, or not set locations, sorry, there are randomly locations around the map that will be high danger, lower danger, there'll be mini bosses around, and then you explore the map. But one thing that's pretty cool so far is it's not like once you're done with one map, you just never go back to it. Like this vault, for example, that I'm clearing right now, I didn't unlock the ability to get into this vault until I was at the point of farming the second expedition. So you'll definitely replay some of these maps and go around them. There's also materials on all the maps that you collect. The materials are used for, well, mainly gold. Gold is used for your research, that's how you get your new weapons. Then you also get your WitchFire, which is the points you see at the bottom right hand corner there, which is what you increase each time you kill something or complete an objective. That is your leveling up. Okay, that is effectively like Souls. Think of it like that. If you fail the expedition, if you die, you lose everything. Alright? You don't lose your weapons, but you lose all the stuff that you collected in that map. There are certain things that are permanent. You can collect shards. Shards will be allowed to be used as a one-time use to then give you a set amount of WitchFire, or souls. Each time you go load into the expedition, you're going to want to kind of clear the map as much as you can, basically. And each map will have a boss, as far as I can tell. This is the boss on the first one. When you first kill this boss, it's not as easy as this looks here. I just got lucky, I think, with this demonic weapon. I said there was three weapon types. The demonic ones are just more powerful weapons, but very limited in ammo. And that's another thing about this game as well. You are scarce on ammo. It's not too bad, but when it gets to the harder difficulties, where they do start to take a lot more bullets to kill them, it does get a little bit harder. You definitely need to plan out where you'll see when you go in, there's basically on the map, you can go hover over it, there'll be ammo depot points, where it's just a chest full of ammo, and you want to time it so that as you get around clearing so much, you then hit the ammo when you're low on ammo. That's the point. So this is the level up process here, and then this is the researching process. So you just spend gold to start research into one of the items that you want. You then run the expedition. As you're running it, that gains you the research, and then you can upgrade these items. And there's various ways of upgrading them, and there's various levels of upgrading them, and it just slowly makes your character stronger and stronger and stronger. And that's pretty much it. It's just fun. It's just a lot of exploring, a lot of running around, a lot of shooting, while killing bad guys, and progression. There's a lot of progression in here, and it's just fun, and it's not super time gated. I've not been able to play as much as I would like. and I feel like I've still gone pretty far. And I feel like I've unlocked, I think, 4 or 5 bolt action rifles, and maybe 4 handguns, 2, 3 relics. It's not that bad. A couple rings. Run around, you'll find items also. So this happens in the second. This is the second map. You'll also find items that are on the ground. They will give you a percentage chance. It will say if it's high risk or low risk or moderate risk to give you a downside or a plus side. And basically you want to pick up all these items because it will give you gold. Gold's used for research, get better equipment. And it's a sort of a rinse and repeat. Kill bosses. The first time you come across some of these bosses, they are really difficult, which is fine because the idea is you go in and out. Okay, you keep farming, you get more levels, you get better, you get familiar with the map, and then you upgrade your weapons. The only part so far is sometimes you'll get a new weapon, you really want to use the new weapon. You have to do the initial part to get the first level of the gun. It seems to always just be like around 100 kills, like sometimes 75, sometimes 100 kills, before you then get the upgrade, which then gives it a benefit. That sometimes sucks because obviously if you go into the harder difficulty maps, then you just don't do as much damage, it just takes you a little bit longer. But it's fine, you can easily just jump into the lower tier ones. You're always still going to get something useful out of them. Because you can farm, there's different herbs that you can farm, and they will then give you, I believe, an incense to make each run a little easier. Like you can have ones that give you health regen, for example. Yeah, it's basically a run around the map, shoot everything in the head. There are times where you definitely will be swarmed as well in this game. It's not all, you'll see when I'm playing it, some of it's kind of like slow pace. I'm just trying to pick the people up from afar. Sometimes that's not, you just don't get a choice of doing that. There's just so much spawning at once. You just have to run around and slide around, do everything you can. And here's another thing as well, with each time you complete an encounter, you will then be able to choose from, there's 3 perks that you can choose from, but you need to collect feathers to unlock. So there's only 2 that will show visible, and there's chests scattered all around the map, and you just have to find them. There's items scattered all around the map, there's events scattered all around the map. There's different mob types on each of these maps as well. Some of them are reused, obviously, depending on, but yeah. And the other thing is for healing, so I kind of like this. There's an actual stat that you can get which increases your healing. So it's not just a case of, oh, you know, if you kill, or you can guess, right, if I can kill this much people or this area, there's probably going to be a chest somewhere with healing elixirs. But there's actually a benefit to leveling up the healing. You don't just stack a lot of health. You need to stack your healing stat as well. Or your elixir just is not going to heal you very much at all. You also get dashes in the game, so you get 2 dashes. I believe if you upgrade enough, you can get 3 dashes or maybe no more. Super useful. It also will show you, if you'll see it, there's arrows that point where the enemies are coming from. So if there are enemies that are about to shoot you with a gun or shoot you with a bow and arrow, for example, or they're right behind you going to stab you, it will show up on the indicator on the HUD where they are located. And then you just dash out of the way. And that's what I'm saying, it's a lot faster paced than I initially thought it would be. I thought it would just be me picking them off. Kind of like what I did here with this boss, where I was just standing at the back picking them off. No, it gets way faster, and it's super fun. I would recommend wishlisting this game for sure. I know there's a bunch of games coming up. You know, you've got Doom coming out soon, you've got The Rising, you've got The Rest of the Wicked, you've got Last Epoch if you're playing that. But I highly recommend wishlisting this. This is early access, they're still in development, but they have a bunch of content already in the game, and I think it's worth it. I genuinely do think this game is worth it. If you are looking for an extraction shooter, this is the first extraction shooter I've ever played. Never played Tarkov, never played Hunt Showdown. This is fun, but it's definitely made me want to try out those games as well. The only difference being this is purely PvE. There's no PvP sides of it, which in my opinion is fun. It just means that it's a little bit more relaxing. So yeah guys, thank you for watching, and if you liked the video, throw a like, throw a subscribe to the channel, and I will be back hopefully soon with maybe a No Rest of the Wicked video prior to the launch of the update for the No Rest of the Wicked. Thanks, guys.